The item box, one of the most iconic features in Resident Evil. It's basically this magical storage chest where you can throw in anything. Weapons, healing items, key items, literally your entire life. But today, I'm doing something completely insane. I'm going to play Resident Evil 3 Remake on hardcore difficulty without opening the item box even once. We wake up as Jill Valentine. We walk into the bathroom, turn off the sink, and then suddenly we see ourselves turn into a zombie. We end our life right there. Yep, that's a nightmare, and if you somehow didn't notice, the gray filter kind of keeps it away. So Jill wakes up, goes back into the bathroom, turns off the sink again, and stares at herself in the mirror. After getting a call, Nemesis shows up, and immediately we run for our lives. We barely escape a meeting with our friend Brad, who tells us the worst possible news. Nemesis is hunting down the entire STARS team, and we need to get out of this city now. As if things couldn't get worse, zombies break down the fence and chaos erupts. Brad gets bitten and we had no choice but to leave him behind. Because in Resident Evil you either run or die. We pick up the gun, but instead of wasting ammo on every zombie we see, we do the smartest thing possible. We start sprinting. Because in this challenge, ammo and inventory space are everything. A helicopter shows up and tells us to head to the rooftop of the parking garage to escape. We get jump scared by even more zombies, but luckily we don't even need to kill them to reach the elevator. We reach the top of the floor thinking we're finally safe, and then Nemesis shows up, crashes the helicopter. Of course, Jill decides to drive a car straight into him hoping it'll end it, but surprise, he doesn't die, not even close. Then our savior shows up, Carlos. He blows Nemesis up and we escape to the train station. Following Carlos, we meet a leader of the group, Mikhail. He tells us his men can't handle everything alone, and asks us if we can help him out. And since we don't really have a choice, we agree. Our first mission is to get the subway infrastructure back online, but before that, we need to restore power. To reach the power station, we have to get through the burning hallway, so we need a fire hose. We explode some enemies, electrocute the others, and inside the building we find a fire or just sitting on the ground. Very convenient. We head back, a sting with the flames, and push forward. Then we find a guy on the ground asking for help. Before we can do anything, this man shows up and shoots him in the head. And immediately I knew, yeah, this guy's going to be a problem. At this point, I ran into my first real issue. My inventory was already full, so instead of moving forward, I had to go back and start using items just to make some space. For example, I used the red jewel, but didn't even pick up this treasure because I didn't need the grenade yet. Not yet. Next, I grab the shotgun and then I find my first hip pouch, giving me 2 extra inventory slots. Now we have to restore the power by turning on 4 circuit breakers, but inside we get deep-throated by this parasite monster, and I had to waste a green herb just to survive. I died multiple times here because I ran out of ammo, mostly because my aim was shit, but eventually I restored the power. Now the power is back on, we can finally get the subway system online, but Nemesis shows up again like I owe him money. He starts chasing me through the streets, I dodge him, electrocute him, and somehow I escape. Not even a minute later, he shows up again. This guy does not quit. I dodge past him and get into the safe room, but he's literally standing outside waiting for me. So I decide to run out again and use dodges to escape. It works, kind of. After completing Subway Road, I head back to the session, but now we have these mutated zombies to deal with. And of course, Nemesis is the one creating them. So I use a grenade, knock Nemesis out, and grab the supply case he drops, which is going to become a massive inventory problem later. After more dodging and sprinting, I finally make it back to the station. I even pick up grenades I left back behind. I meet back up with Carlos, and obviously Nemesis shows up one more time. Jill decides to bait him like a hero, which leads into yet another chase scene. And after escaping, we enter the sewer section. Now I have to deal with the real final boss, my inventory. Like seriously, look at this. My backpack was more dangerous than Emis at this point. Thankfully, I was able to throw away the bolt cutters, which gave me at least a little space. Now to open this door, I needed a battery, and of course, they came inside to hide it deep inside the sewers, because why would anything even be easy? The first monster shows up and I try to be smart. I attempt to dodge right through it, and somehow, I actually survived barely. Then I find the grenade launcher. But then I remember, I have absolutely zero inventory space. And it gets worse. Remember that crate Nemesis dropped earlier? Yeah. That was a handgun mug. Because I picked it up, I couldn't even throw it away. So now I have 2 options. Either go all the way back and pretend I never picked up the crate, or sacrifice another item from my inventory, and trust me, in a no-item box run, every single slot matters. So I made the big sacrifice. I wasted shotgun shells and grenade shots to clear out monsters. Also, I could fit the grenade launcher into my inventory. Totally worth it. Because now I get through the sugars way faster. Then I run into an even bigger problem. I finally find the battery, and I can't even pick it up. My inventory was full, again. So once more I had to sacrifice something important, and this time I threw away my green herb. Now, because I didn't want to waste anything else before the next boss fight, I decided not to fight the last two monsters. Instead, I tried to dodge past them, and somehow, it actually worked. After playing Ring Around the Rosie with this disgusting sewer monster, I finally managed to escape. But then, I did something really stupid. I forgot the battery in the other door, so I had to go all the way back right to where the monster was still standing just to grab it again. After finally using battery and leaving the area, Nemesis grabs me out of nowhere and boom, another chase scene, cause this guy just never leaves me alone. After escaping, we reach one of the craziest fights so far, Flamethrower Nemesis. This boss fight was brutal. I got burned alive, smashed into the ground, and I hit a perfect dodge with 0 bullets left. It was chaos. But after a bunch of attempts, I finally beat him. Honestly, I felt amazing. After breaking my back and escaping death, once again, we meet up with Kendall, but instead of escaping with us, he decides to stay behind for some reason. After leaving the house, we run into Nemesis again, but this time it's even worse, because he's literally chasing us with a rocket launcher. We barely manage to escape, and just when we think we're safe, Nemesis shoots down the giant mascot outside of the store. So now we're sprinting for our lives, trying to not get slammed to the ground by this massive boulder. But then Nemesis shows up right in front of the door I need to go through to escape. Luckily, I was prepared. And finally, we meet back up with Carlos, and he finishes the job for now. Now that we're back at the subway, we think we can finally leave the city, but Carlos has to stay behind for some other business. And of course, Nemesis shows up again, kills everyone inside, and makes the entire train crash. Moving on, now we're playing as Carlos, which thankfully has way more inventory space than Jill. Right away we take this guy down, and then we make our way inside police department. Now that we're inside, our mission is to find the STAR's office, but of course, the second I step in, I almost get banged by zombies. After killing them, we keep moving forward. Then we see this welcoming sign for Leon.
Welcome, Leon. Bet you had a kick-ass first day.
Next we go to use the detonator, but it needs a battery, so we start searching for one, and eventually we find a room that holds it. There's a problem. A licker is waiting for me. Luckily, Carlos has his special move, just straight up punching the lickers away, and I managed to get inside and grant the battery. Now that we have it, we head back to the den near and blow up the wall. The second that wall was exploded, the entire zombie army gets deployed and starts rushing me. After killing all of them, including another licker, we figure out that the doctor is stuck in the hospital. Right after that, we got the call from Jill saying the train got derailed, which means it's time to play as Jill again. Now that we're playing as Jill again, we have to get ourselves to safety, and we immediately run into a big problem. The game starts throwing a ton of items at us, which can only mean one thing: a boss fight's coming up. But the issue is, I don't have the inventory space to carry all of this. So after sorting out through my items and throwing a few things away, we keep moving. Once we're outside, Jill decides it will be funny to make fun of Nemesis.
Bitch can't even swim.
Which is obviously the worst idea possible. Because right after she says that, Nemesis shows up again, but this time he's transformed into something way worse than before. Now we're getting chased. The game then throws you straight into another boss fight. This fight was a pain. I died a lot. Once I finally adapted to his moves and my limited infantry space, he didn't stand a chance. But just when I thought I actually killed him, he pulls out one last move and infects me. All the while, Nicola is just standing there watching. After getting saved by Carlos once again, he brings us to the hospital. We still had to find a doctor and a vaccine to save Jill. And the worst part, I had basically no ammo left, so I literally had to punch my way through zombies just to survive. After finding the ID card, we run into one of the worst enemies in the game, the Hunter Beta. These things are fast, tanky, and can literally one-shot you. I got killed twice before I finally managed to take it down and move on. But then, after opening the door with the ID card, we ran into an even bigger problem. We needed to find the cassette tape to open the next door and save the doctor. And of course, The cassette was sitting in a room with not 1, but 200 betas. And the worst part is I didn't have enough ammo to kill both of them. After dying once, I realized I didn't actually need to fight them. I just needed to grab the cassette and get out. So I tried to be smart. I used my only flashbang, stunning them, rushing in, grabbing the cassette, and leave. But of course, the flash wasn't enough to safely escape. So I end up punching my way out and barely get away. Now that we finally open the door, we find out the doctor got shot. After punching a monitor out of the pure anger, we grabbed the vaccine to save Jill. But there was still one thing standing between me and saving her. Luckily, this time I had a grenade and finally took it out. Moving on, we inject Jill with the vaccine, and then we get the worst news possible. The city is about to get nuked. But we still had one last job left. Protect Jill and Tyrell from an entire wave of zombies. And after a lot, and I mean a lot of tries, we finally did. We saved them. Now we're back playing as Jill. She wakes up and we have to go find the vaccine before the city gets nuked. After getting inside the underground facility, we find Nikolai on a call with someone. Of course, I immediately try to shoot him through the glass, but he gets lucky, because it's bulletproof. Now we have to take an elevator to reach him, but obviously the fuses explode right when I'm about to use it. So now we need to find 3 fuses to get the power working in. While searching, we run into one of the worst enemies, the Palehead. These things take an insane amount of ammo to kill. So instead of wasting bullets, I jump into the elevator and find my first fuse. And because of my limited inventory space, I instantly run back, insert into the fuse box, and head out again. Moving on, we find a second fuse, which is being protected by a hunter beta. Luckily, this time we're playing as Jill, and with a grain launcher, we easily take him down and grab the fuse. Once again, because my inventory space is so limited, I have to run all the way back to the fuse box just so swords before continuing. Now we go looking for the last fuse. We finally found it. The moment we do, this tank opens up and releases the full wave of zombies. After killing them, we even run into a sewer zombie, but thankfully, the grenade launcher makes the way easier. Now that we have the final fuse, we head back one last time, but right before reaching the fuse box, every zombie laying on the ground suddenly wakes up. Luckily, I'm way too fast for him, so I quickly insert fuse and take the elevator out of here. After meeting up with Tyrell, not even a minute later, he gets killed by Nemesis, and now, he's after me again. After shutting this door to escape him, we finally enter the lab, where we have to find a vaccine. To make it, we need 2 ingredients. One of them is upstairs, and to get there, we have to deal with a Palehead and zombie. Easy enough. But now we have to go back down for a second ingredient. After almost dying while dodging Paleheads, we reach the next area, and it's basically a death trap. Full of hunter beta, just waiting to jump us. Of course, the room with the second ingredient is packed with zombies, so we have no choice but to kill every single one of them. After dodging another Palehead, we finally grab the second ingredient and escape the room. Moving on, after taking the elevator down, the game expects us to kill 3 hunter betas. Because I picked up acid rounds earlier, taking them out was way easier. Now get through another room full of Paleheads, and instead of wasting all my ammo, I just dodge every single one of them and I barely escape. After inserting the 2 ingredients, we do a small puzzle to finally get the vaccine. But of course, Nemesis shows up immediately and tries to choke me out. Now we have to escape from him, again. Just when we think we're safe, he grabs us one more time. Jill tries to blow them up, and somehow, that's how he managed to escape again. Now we reach a safe room filled with items, which can only mean one thing. Another boss fight is coming. So after sorting out everything, we move forward. And then we see Nemesis breaking through a door, charging straight at us, but before we even can react, Nikolai shows up and makes us fall into a pit. Right down with Nemesis. This is it. The fight where we had to use all the ammo we've been saving this entire run. Carlos even shows up to help us out. Honestly, this fight wasn't too hard. We beat it on our first try. Moving on, we still had to find Nikolai because he had the vaccine. We run into him, but we got interrupted by Nemesis again. So Carlos goes after Nikolai while we stay behind. And this is it, the final fight against Nemesis. We had to use this massive weapon to shoot him twice. The first shot was free, but for the second one, we had to insert 3 massive batteries back in to get enough power. So while Nemesis is attacking us, we had to shoot these huge red blobs to knock him out, just so we can insert the batteries again. After a lot of tries and getting slapped to the ground over and over again, we finally did it. We killed Nemesis for good this time. Now all that was left was getting the vaccine back from Nikolai. When we reach the rooftop, we see Carlos getting beaten by Nikolai. So we rush in to save him. Nikolai stops us and destroys the vaccine. Colossus gets back up and fights him, and it comes down to one final shot. We literally finish him off by shooting him in the nuts. After that, we escaped city, leaving Nikolai behind, and we watched Rek and City get nuked. And just like that, we finally beat the game. So, can you beat Resident Evil 3 Remake on hardcore mode without using the item box? Yeah. But I do not recommend it. It was a complete pain in the ass. But anyway, comment down below what challenge I should try next, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.